What up, y'all? You're tuned into the Breaking Boundaries podcast, where we discuss motivation, positivity, leave you feeling good about life. Our goal on this show is to get better together. Carlo, what up, man?
Right on, man. What's up, bro?
Just enjoying life, brother.
How was your day?
Good. Went to the gym first thing in the AM. Spent some time being lazy, but that's needed sometimes.
Yeah, and that's okay. When I called you and you're like, yeah, I need to get up and do something productive, I'm like, dude, you got a lot going on. You know what I mean? You're at work 10, 12 hours a day, plus editing this show. You know, you got a lot going on. I get the same way, too, where it's like, oh, you know, I feel worthless if I just lay around for a little while, man.
Right.
You know?
Yeah. I'll just go, and I'm sure you're the same way. Just go like nonstop, and then eventually you hit this point where you're like, all right, I gotta rest for a minute, right?
Yeah, absolutely, dude.
Yeah.
It's not healthy to, you know, I know we talk about all this stuff and all this motivational stuff, you know, and about get up and do something, you know, but it's balance. So, man, you got to have balance.
Yeah. Otherwise, you burn out, and
Absolutely.
then you're no good to yourself.
And that's when people get sick and you get hurt. You know,
Yeah,
is
true
when
that.
you overwork yourself.
For sure.
Absolutely, yeah. I've doing a lot of meditating today. Today I had all to myself, man. So I've just been kind of like diving in deep, man, on that. And you know, so that's kind of my rest day is like go to yoga and meditate.
Yeah, hell yeah.
You know what I mean? That's like, and just kind of get recentered. You know, when things get crazy, that's what my rest days look like. But,
yeah, because I know you've had a lot going on too, and you've been working on this shit nonstop too, and it's all been worth it. It's all been worth it, and it's gonna be worth it. But you know, it's all right to take a break every now and then.
Absolutely,
and
man.
Center yourself for sure. Yeah, man. So yesterday, I was having a discussion with a buddy. And I was kind of talking about how, like, you know, and don't get me wrong here, like, we need 9-to-5 workers, right? Like the world needs them. And for some people, like, it's great. That's what they want to do. They want to wake up and go to work, you know, work their 8 hours and go home, spend time with their families, whatever, you know. But I was talking to him about how, like, for me, I don't like just having a 9-to-5 life. That's why, like, I'm exploring all these other things in life. And I was kind of like talking about my old job and why I left it to go on my own journey and explore, you know, new opportunities in life. And he kind of came back at me with like almost like defensive, like, well, you know, the 9-to-5 life, like that's what some people want. And I was like, I'm not trying to say that that's not good for some people, right? But just kind of the tone I was getting from him was like that, why are you doing more than that, you know? And it made me think about kind of what we were talking about, where like, man, people don't want to see you succeed sometimes, right? Like people don't want to see you work harder than the average person to achieve more things in life. They want to see you right where they're at.
Yeah, and they're not willing to do it themselves either.
Right.
So they're like hating on you and fucking, dude, nobody wants a 9-to-5. The thing is they're not willing to take the risk or to get uncomfortable and make the change. Who wouldn't want the freedom to do what you want when you want? Who would not want to go on vacations? You know, who would not want these things? So it's bullshit. And I hear people say, you know, say that too. Well, I'm just, you know, I'm on my journey and this and that. But dude, fucking financial freedom, bro, it's a part of this 3D life. You know what I mean? Like finances are a thing. Like they say money can't buy happiness. No, it cannot buy happiness, but you can't be happy without money. You can't, if you're stressed out about paying the bills, especially in like a relationship. You know, in a relationship, man, that's like one of the number one problems is finances. You know, you can't be happy. It causes stress, man. So when people say that, that's bullshit. You're gonna tell me you don't want to be at all your kids' soccer games? You know what I mean? You're gonna tell me that you don't fucking want that? No, you're just not willing to do what it takes. And that's okay. If you accept your life like that, that's fine. But don't go hate on us for wanting more.
Yeah,
you know?
exactly. And you're exactly right. Financial issues, number one reason for divorce. You know what I mean? And and like you said, it's fine if that's what you want to do, but when we see people in our lives working hard to achieve something, we should be, empowering them and cheering them on and rooting for them. And this whole mindset of like, oh, you need to slow down, and what's the point in working so hard, and what's the point in trying to achieve all these things? I don't get that mindset, man, and I couldn't imagine being that type of a person.
Dude, and I love the thing, you got to start from the bottom and work your way up. And that's what companies tell you. That's what society's told you. Start from the bottom, start slow, save your money, put it in the bank where it gains no interest, right? And save up, and in 10 years you can make fucking, six figures maybe, or whatever it is. And so people think that's the only way, right? And they sit there and convince us that, and I'm not, dude, I am not knocking anybody who's a hard worker, man. I'm not knocking it. It's just a lack of knowledge is all it is. And it's a lack of belief in what they can do. You know what I mean? But that's how society's made it. Okay, back in the fucking days, okay, people work 9 to 5, right? But it was for themselves, gathering their own food, right? Building their own homes. So they still had the freedom. They still worked for themselves. You know what I mean? And they were creating for themselves, and they were being creative for themselves. And then society, the big businesses, the big banks turned it into slave mentality and started programming our minds to it and programming our minds to it so that they could get richer, man. You know what I mean?
Yeah, yeah, it's true. And you see it now because like even companies, you can work for a company, and you're, say you're a production employee or a sales associate or something like that. I've seen where the people at the top, they like to keep you just where you're at, right? Like they don't want to encourage you to move up in the company. They want to keep you right where they're at because they want to keep moving up. They want to keep expanding their horizons in life, but they need you to do the work. So they make people believe that, there's only so much value in it.
Yeah, and then you know who's the first person to get cut is the highest paid ones.
Company sells, the first ones to go is upper management.
Yeah, upper management's the first one to go because they're the biggest payout. And I know people that have worked in careers and they don't want to move up to management because of that. Especially old timers that have been at a company for 40 or 50 years. Their jobs is the most risk to be let go because they can find somebody younger to do it for cheaper.
Yep, absolutely. And usually when you're in a situation where a company is failing and they're being sold because they're failing, the company's being sold off, the buyer of the company knows, hey, this company's failing because of these people at the top, right? And I think a lot of the time people at the top of anything get complacent and they think that they're irreplaceable, and that's just never true. But they definitely like to keep those floor level workers right where they're at so that and they don't want them to believe in themselves, and they want to keep them feeling like they're small, like there's nothing more for them, like they can never make it any further, like they're meant to be doing what they're doing, right? And that's and it's not just in companies. People are like that in general. And I see that a lot in society where, just like I was telling you the story about talking to my buddy, the conversation we had, and I've had numerous conversations where people don't want you to be doing better than them.
Yeah, and they say dim your light to make other people feel better. Right? Don't brag or don't talk about what you have or this or that. So again, it's constantly society telling us to dim our lights.
Right. Be humble, right?
Yeah, to be humble. Right. And that's and churches do that shit a bunch too. People are under the assumption that if you're spiritual or in a church that God wanted us to be broke. That's bullshit. That is bullshit.
Absolutely.
That's not what it is. He's saying be humble. That means no ego. What's the opposite of ego is humble. You know what I'm saying? But that's bullshit. This is an abundant world, dude. And God wants us to have everything. You know what I'm saying? But you have to believe that you can have it. And people don't believe that because they got their boss, like you said, telling them to dim their light. They got everybody in their family that worked a job and they were raised their whole life and that's how they did it. And they went to college and so it's just a lack of knowledge, man.
Yeah.
That's all it is. But being an entrepreneur, what I do, anybody can do it. Anybody can do it. You just have to be willing. You have to have enough. You have to want the change, dude.
Yeah, you got to be a little uncomfortable.
You got to be a little uncomfortable, but I mean that's our duty here, especially as men, to live to our full potential.
Absolutely.
If I'm just doing the bare minimum, not getting uncomfortable, and I'm not saying whatever about whoever else, man, and I'm not living to my full potential, then what am I really doing for my kids? And what am I teaching my kids? Because then I'm just teaching my kids to repeat the same cycle.
Yep. And we've talked about that before. Then you create that generational trauma over and over again.
I mean, even just doing this podcast, man, it takes balls to do this podcast. I'm showing my kids to get fucking uncomfortable, get out there and do whatever you got to do to make some change.
Yeah.
I do a lot of shit that makes me uncomfortable, man. A lot of different stresses, but I'm just not going to do it, man. I'm just not going to do it. I want financial freedom for me and my family. And it's not because I want the shiny things, man, but I want the freedom to fucking be myself, man, and to go on my path. And in order to do that, you got to have money, bro.
Yeah.
Otherwise, if you don't, dude, you're going to be if you're not chasing your own dream, you're going to be supporting somebody else's.
Yep, absolutely. Yeah. So moral of the story is it's okay to work for more. That doesn't make you a selfish person, right? And that's what people try to portray is that, oh, well, if you want more, you're selfish. And it's like, no, I'm not. I just want what's best for me and my family and the people around me, and I'm going to work for that.
And you deserve it.
Absolutely.
Motherfucker, people out there, you guys deserve it.
Absolutely.
You deserve it. You're worthy of it. But people don't feel that way.
Yeah.
They think that's all they have coming.
Yeah.
And so again, it comes back to changing your mindset and doing the inner work.
Yep.
I didn't think this way before. The more inner work I did, the more I was willing to do these things to get uncomfortable.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, because the more inner work you do, the more you find yourself, the more you find your confidence, the more your eyes open up to possibilities.
Absolutely.
Right? And there's so many possibilities for anyone out there in this world. And so I hate to see someone that feels like they're just who they are and they're not supposed to have anything more than what they do. And I felt like that for a long time. I'm just now coming to a realization like, hey, if you work for what you want, you're going to eventually achieve it. But you got to work. You got to be consistent. You got to keep working every single day. Like we've talked about before, taking small steps every single day, and then eventually you get there, But no one should be made to feel like they're small, like they're not supposed to have anything more.
Yeah.
And that's a lot of what, with the internet, you see that a lot, I guess because of like the comparison syndrome, right? Like you see people on social media and they're putting content out there that leads people to believe they have perfect lives, right? And then the people that are just sitting at home watching that content, they don't feel like they're worthy of having
they're down on
life.
themselves.
Yeah.
They're down on themselves. Yeah, absolutely, dude. Watching fucking Instagram reels or your friends have something, then you're fucking depressed. Mm-hmm. But you're still going to get up every morning and you're still going to scroll on your fucking phone and you're still going to look at it,
Yep.
Still going to fucking do it, man. So again, it just comes with the internal work, for you to make that decision or want better for yourself. It's like loving yourself. The more you love yourself, the more you're going to do better for yourself.
Yep.
So it starts there.
Yep.
Finances, spiritual, children, everything, man. It starts with that inner work.
Absolutely. And that's the best message that I can preach right now, because we've been there where you don't know how to love yourself and you don't know what that feels like. And I think a lot of people are in that situation. So that's the message, man.
Yeah.
That's the message.
Once I started doing that, the more I love myself, the more I start working on these outside things. The more I want to change my body, the more I don't want to eat crappy food. I quit smoking, quit drinking, did all those things. I didn't force myself to do it. The more that I built on me, the more that I want those good things in my life.
Yeah, absolutely. Same. I remember at one time when it came to working out in the gym, I would look at people that are bigger and that look a lot more fit than I do, and you know, I think a lot of us get in our head like, well, that's how those people are. I'm never gonna be that way. But you can be that way, right? You put in the work, you can be that way.
Anybody.
Yeah, and same with you know, building wealth, building security. You see a lot of people with it, and you look at yourself and you say, well, they're meant to be that way. I'm not meant to be that way. But you can have it. You can have it.
The only difference is, man, between the billionaire and us is that they believe they could have it and we don't, and they were willing to put it in the work to get it. Because, you know, I know people, and here's the thing too, bro, and people think that, if I do good deeds, that good things will come back to me. Well, how come the people that are fucked up and they're rich and they have money? Why is that? They didn't do any good deeds. Matter of fact, they've destroyed tons of lives. It's because it's whatever you put out is what you're getting back. They believe they can have all that money. It's in the Bible. God said it. Jesus said it. If you believe it, you can have it.
Right. And to most, it seems they feel it's delusional to think that way for themselves. But
Right.
Delusion is only delusion until it works, right?
Until it works.
Yeah.
People think I'm fucking crazy all the time when I'm talking about a new project or when I'm talking about fucking crypto, and they think I'm fucking crazy, dude. You know, but yeah, okay, that's cool. Go ahead and keep thinking that.
Yeah, those people out there buying Bitcoin when it first came out, they were crazy too, right?
Yeah.
Look at the motherfuckers now.
Yeah.
You know, they're millionaires now.
Yeah.
Right, but they took a risk. They put, well, maybe it wasn't so much of a risk then because you were paying next to nothing to get it when it first started. But, you know, you take a risk, you work toward the outcome. Sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't. But you keep taking those risks. Sometimes they will work. Sometimes it will work taking that risk. And I know it's scary to take a risk, you know, and people will tell you, oh, don't take a risk.
Yeah. Play it safe. Have something to fall back on.
Yep, exactly.
Yeah.
Live with certainty, you know, be okay with having just enough to get by. So at least you're quote unquote secure that way, you know, and don't worry about having any more.
Yeah, this is how it works. It's not going to work any different for you. Right. So this happened to so and so, and that happened to so and so. So that's how it's going to happen to you.
Yeah, and there it is again with comparison.
Yeah, but that's how you have to be careful about who you surround yourself with and who you tell your dreams and your goals to. You know, especially family. Oh, no, you can't do that. You know, people I know, and it's their family that keeps them down, dude.
Yeah.
You know, and their friends. You know, so you have to just, man, you got to dig deep and go inside, dude.
Yep.
And change the way you think, and you got to reprogram your subconscious mind. It's not easy because you've been thinking this way your whole life.
Yeah.
Right? But for me, it's like we're given one life, dude. Like, it's like I don't accept it, man. You know what I'm saying? I'm not going to accept it. I'm not going to be a fucking slave, dude. Whatever I have to do. No matter how many times I have to fail, it don't matter when it happens. But motherfucker, it's going to happen.
Yeah. And failure is something to embrace.
Absolutely.
Because failure is what gets, you know, I don't believe that there's such thing as failure. I just believe there's trying again.
Yeah,
you know?
And each failure is a step closer.
Yep, absolutely. Yeah, and everyone will tell you that you're fucking crazy, that, you know, all this work you're doing is for nothing, you're never going to get there until they see you start getting there. Then all of a sudden, there's all these things they can do to help you, and there's all, you know.
Yeah, you're getting pads on the back and,
yep.
You know, all kinds of shit. But where were you then?
Kind of like when someone wins the lotto,
you know,
right?
Yeah.
All of a sudden, they have all this family that comes out of nowhere. Like, remember when I was there for you? You know what I mean? And it's easy for people to hate on you when you're not doing good, but they hate on you even more once you start doing better than them. And David Goggins said it one time, and it made a lot of sense to me. You'll never see a hater doing any better than you.
Oh yeah, I think I heard that video, man.
Yeah, that made so much sense to me because it's so true. Like, usually the people who believe in you, I don't want to say they're doing better than you, but they're the people that, I don't know, I guess kind of share that delusion with you, right? But those people are far and few in this world.
Yeah.
And so if you have people like that in your life that believe in you, stick with those people. But everybody that doesn't believe in you, we talked about this before, get that negative shit out of your life.
Away, yeah. And that's the thing. Even if you don't, when you're on your way up, dude, even if you don't have to, God's going to cut them out of your life, because guess what? They can't come with you.
Yeah.
And that's why on this journey, and we talked about that, about being alone, right? Because they can't come with you. The new you and everybody that's around, it has to go. They can't come with you.
Yeah.
You know, I'm sorry, I love you, but I gotta leave you.
Yeah. It's okay to love someone and cut them off.
You know, and cut them off. Yeah. Like, I'm just, no more. You know, my biggest supporters are my sons, bro. You know, they believe in me. They call me out. You know, I was talking my little 10-year-old dude, and he's like, I was like, man, I want to have a Ferrari. You know, we're talking about, he knows all about all the good sports car, bro. Like, when he had toy cars, it wasn't like little trucks and stuff, dude. It's like Bugattis and stuff. You know, he's super high maintenance, little 10-year-old, super into fashion, man. But he's like, well, Dad, you're going to have it. If you believe it, you're going to have it. So he'll like put words back in my face, you know, and then my older son will be like, what's up, Dad? Where's the millions at? And I'll be like, dude, fucking that's it, man. I'm on. You know what I mean? I'll be back in gear, bro. You know, so those are my biggest supporters, man. Are my two boys, dude. Like, they believe in me, man. And that's even more of a reason that, you know, you got to do it.
Yeah.
You know, got to do what I say I'm going to do. Or what am I teaching them?
Yep.
You know?
Yeah, because we want our kids to grow up believing that they can have purpose in their life. They're not just meant to go through the motions.
Yeah. And that and to see things through.
Yep.
You know, when you start something, finish it.
Yeah, absolutely. And that's probably one of the hugest problems for people is consistency and continuation. Just keep going. You know, a lot of people don't get the instant result, so they're like, this isn't working.
Yeah, something goes wrong and that's it. They give up.
I've done it a million times in my life.
Me too.
Right? And now that we're starting this journey with trying to connect with people through this podcast, I refuse now to give up on that.
Right.
You know, because plenty of times in the past I would start doing something similar and give up, and I finally got myself to the point where I'm like, I'm not giving up anymore, dude. I'm not letting anyone tell me I can't have it. I'm not letting myself believe that I can't have it. I'm gonna, whatever it is I want, I'm gonna work for it. I'm gonna keep going, and when it doesn't seem like it's working, I'm still gonna keep going.
Yeah, dude, because that's the thing, man. And that's what, like, you know, entrepreneurship, because this is entrepreneurship right here. It's like, you're putting in 110% every day, man, for a fucking year, 2 years, and not seeing any results. Do you know what kind of person that takes?
Resilience, man.
Bro, dude, it takes it, man, to just sit there and keep diving in and keep diving in and keep diving in. It takes belief, dude.
Yeah.
Because you have to believe in the thing. So that's the thing, bro. If you don't believe in it, you know, like this podcast, dude, I believe in it, bro. So I'm not gonna let it go. Like, there's no doubt in my mind. I don't know where it's gonna go. You know what I'm saying? But it's just push forward. My security business, dude. Oh my gosh, man. I wanted to give up so many times, dude. Not so many times, but there's like, it came this close, and those are just tests, dude.
Yeah.
You know, it's some pretty crazy shit has happened, man, where I've wanted to give up and I just didn't, dude. There's no way. In crypto too, man, there's times where I just wanted to say fuck it and throw the towel away, man, but I'm just not doing it, dude. Because I'm just not gonna I'm not gonna live a slave life. I will not go get a fucking job.
Right.
You will not catch me go get a job, dude. I will not do whatever I gotta do. I've had several businesses I've started in the past 2 years, dude, and failed, boom, gone to something else, dude. I'm not giving up, bro.
Yeah.
I'm not giving up.
Yeah, we can't let the uncertainty scare us
and
away.
Then just at the end, dude, where you think there's this the one comedian. I love this. I love hearing stories of guys. This one comedian, Mike. I know you're Matt Rife.
Matt Rife, yeah,
Matt Rife, dude, right? So he's talking about for fucking like 11 years, dude. He's doing comedy and he's doing videos, right? And then and nothing's happening. He's getting ready to give up, and then somebody asked him to be on a show, to like introduce him, go on the show or whatever, and they're like, but he's not getting paid for it. You know what I mean? And then he didn't want to do it, but he went and did it anyways after 11 years, and then boom, he went viral. In a matter of 14 months, how famous he is now, in a matter of 14 months, he took off, bro. 11 years of not seeing any kind of results, bro.
That's a long
Dude, I
time.
love that story when he said that. And that one thing he didn't want to do, that place he didn't want to go and wasn't going to go and didn't think anything was going to happen, fucking God came down, bro, and that was it for him. And he just took off from there, dude.
That's amazing.
In like 14 months, he's like a millionaire or something, dude. He's like all over the place, asking him to do TV shows, all kinds of crazy shit.
Because he did just come out of nowhere, huh?
Yeah, dude, he did. And that was it. And for 11 years, man, it wasn't getting at that one video went viral, dude.
Yeah, man, it's almost like the universe or God or, whatever your higher power is. It's almost like you're tested to make sure that you're worthy of it, right? And then when you put in that bit of work that you don't want to put in, that's like, it shows that you're worth it.
I think that, yeah, I mean, in that way yet, but also I think it's, you haven't learned your lessons.
That makes sense.
Because I've seen it happen in me with my security business, and it all being there, and then all of a sudden it taken away. I think it's lessons that I haven't learned yet. And there's another story in the Bible, and I can't refrain what it was, but it's some guy, and they were in the desert, and they were crossing the desert for like 40 years. And then he finally got his kingdom, but the reason is because the whole time they were complaining. They were complaining about it. Why am I not there yet? Why am I not there yet? Why am I not there yet? Right? So I think, and also in from my experience, is that I'm constantly looking for it. When you're manifesting something, you can't be looking for the result.
Yeah.
You can't be looking for the outcome, right? And I've done it for years with things where I'm looking for the I got a thing, dude, that hasn't manifested in my life, bro, and it's because, and I know why. It's because I'm constantly looking for it. I'm constantly saying, why is it not here yet? And so what happens is the universe gives you exactly what you're putting out. I want. Okay, you want. You're going to get more wanting.
Yeah.
Right. So I think that's from my experience with my stuff. That's what I noticed. The manifestations that haven't came in are the ones that I haven't let go of.
So in other words, look for the next action.
Look for the next action. Yeah, because when you're just taking action to it, or if something you want's not coming, pay attention to something else that you do have. Take your focus away from that. Be grateful for what you do have. Gratitude. Put your focus on something else. Keep taking action in that direction. But whenever I've continuously looked for the results, it doesn't come. As soon as I let it go, I say, all right, fuck it. I'm just going to settle in it. Boom, it comes. So I think that, that's a lot that has to do with it, man, is the continuous want, or they're coming from a place of lack.
Right.
I can see Matt Rife being like that. And the more years he did it, the more years he's like, man, why isn't it here yet? Man, why can't I just get it? Like, I'm telling you, I can't preach it enough, dude. Whatever you're thinking, speaking, and listening to is creating your reality.
Absolutely. Yeah.
It's creating your reality, bro. I mean, I believe in this shit because I've been studying it for the last 3 years.
Right.
And I'm not perfect at it, but I've acknowledged it, and I paid attention. I put pen to paper and I wrote it down, and I understand how it works, man.
Right. Yeah. Sometimes I guess sometimes when there's too much energy being put to something, it overpowers the result, right?
Right.
And really you need just the right amount of action, the right amount of energy being output toward that. And like you said, look at when you're not achieving the result right away and you kind of take your attention off of it a little bit. It's like you're letting everything reset, right? You're letting everything reset.
Yeah, you're letting go of control also.
Right.
Because we try to control everything, and we just can't. And by trying to control it, we're stopping the universe and God from doing what they do. We're stopping it from happening. We stop our own manifestations from coming in constantly because we're trying to control it. We're trying to force it. And if you just let go and you say yes to everything, That's my biggest thing is when I say, okay, I'm saying yes to everything. Anybody ask me anything, to do anything, to go anywhere, whatever it is, just become a yes person. Yes. Tell the universe yes, and the universe is going to tell you yes.
Yeah, because that's that risk sometimes, saying yes when you're
Yeah.
not, not 100% sure you should, but you do it anyway.
Everything that comes to me, any of my manifestations that come, they come from out of nowhere, out of a place that I wasn't looking. I go to grow my business and I look for contracts and I go out there and I do the sales thing and this or that. I get contracts, but from somewhere else.
Right.
It's not from where I looked. But because of me matching the energy of it and putting the action in for looking for it, it came in.
Right.
You get what I'm saying?
Right.
So,
Or like someone's looking for a job, constantly just putting resumes out, spending all their time just putting resumes out everywhere, and which gets tiring for people. And then all of a sudden, out of nowhere, someone gets their hands on their resume that they didn't even send it to, and this perfect job comes along.
or
right?
a random friend calls and whatnot. But it's like, okay, you put the resumes out, now let it go and trust.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? My son, he was just doing this. He got his car taken away because his mom said he had to have a job. They weren't giving him hours at his work. And I kept telling him, dude, just go put out in applications. Well, I'll see who's hiring. It doesn't matter if they're hiring. Just put them out. One day, bro, 2 hours, we went to the first place. I knew the owner of the bookstore. Boom. He got a job, and Chick-fil-A hadn't give him hours for months. And literally it was the next day Chick-fil-A calls him, they got hours for him. And he goes, oh, Dad, you were right. I said, yeah, you just have to put the energy out there. You can't just sit there and say, I want.
Right.
But it's, like I said, it's aligned action. So you can't put too much, like you were saying, can't push it. You just gotta live it, man. You just gotta try it yourself.
Yeah, because everything has to be balanced.
Yeah.
Everything in life has to be balanced. When you're weighing too much to one side or the other, it's going to teeter.
Yeah.
But when you figure out that right amount of energy to be putting out, that's when it levels out.
Yeah.
And then then you're not falling down the slide, Or like I think about it like a remember those you would go to the playground as a kid, they had those things that teeter back, teeter-totter, and it's like the kid has to, on one side, has to put that force down right at the right time, right? And if that perfect amount of energy isn't put out, then it just teeters one way and it doesn't go back the other way. So I get what you're saying. Like it's balance, man.
Absolutely. And you have to believe that you have it already.
Yeah.
And that's where that 369 method I brought to you told you before, man. You write it down like you already have it.
3 times in the morning.
3 times in the morning, 6 times in the afternoon, 9 times at night, and then read it before you go to sleep like you already have it. It works, bro.
Someone I know watched that episode and came to me and was
somebody
like,
I know,
I'm going to start doing
somebody
this.
I know did it, and it happened within a couple days.
That's
things
amazing.
things started to happen, so I'm saying, but fucking man, tell people. So here's a fucking key, man. Here's an answer. Here it is, audience. Here's an answer to all your problems, but you're still not going to do it.
Yeah, right.
But you're still not going to do it because people can complain and complain and complain, but they're not willing to do it.
Yeah, because we're so afraid of putting effort into something that's not going to happen. But what we don't realize is if you just put the effort in, it's going to happen. And it may not happen the way that you think it's going to happen, but you can't, there's no way, kind of like what we're doing here. There's no way you can put so much effort in and then eventually not succeed, right?
Yeah, you're going to succeed.
Yeah.
You're going to succeed.
But we're so afraid of spending our time putting effort into something that isn't going to happen. And then we have it in our heads, well, I'm not good enough for this, or this is unrealistic, or it's just not going to happen for me, so I'm just not going to try at all.
Well, that's why it's not going to work, because it's your belief system.
Yeah.
Because you don't believe enough in yourself.
Right.
You know what I mean? You don't believe enough in yourself. Like, bro, imagine instead of people waking up and they think about what can go wrong, and if they thought about, man, I wonder what good could happen to me today. Right? People believe I am blessed and highly favored. I am divinely guided and protected. Everything is always working out in my favor. I feel that way, bro.
Right.
I believe that. I believe I'm a lucky guy. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And so if people started, but again, people want to dim your light. Society says, don't think you're special. You're not special.
Yep.
You're not special. Who are you?
Absolutely.
Why would God love you more than the rest of us? Why? We are all fucking special, dude. We are all fucking blessed and highly favored. If we believe it.
Yeah, definitely. Where it's a miracle that those of us that are here are even here. You know what I mean? And you're right about waking up and thinking the other direction, thinking the positive direction. It changes your whole day.
Yeah, dude.
You know?
Just fucking try it, people. Yeah. Just try it and prove me wrong. Prove me wrong. Wake up and start saying those words and think like that every day and see what changes happen in your life.
Yep. Yeah, but you have to take control of your mind in order to do that. You have to have control of you, and you have to realize that the only person that can control you is you. You know, your boss isn't in control of you. Your group of friends isn't in control of you. Your kids, your parents, whoever, they're not in control of you. You're in control of you. So if you wake up and take control, you're going to have control of your day, of your week, of your month, your year, your life, you know? But it's so hard for us to realize that because society has been built up in a way that makes us think that all that's there is what's there and that there's nothing more.
You've been programmed and you got to reprogram.
Yep.
And it's not easy. Think about it. To take a belief system you've had your whole life and to change that. And the only way to do it is by getting all the garbage out of your head. All the scrolling, all the TV, all the people. And you have to clear it. It's like a computer. You have to clear it.
Right.
Right? But you can't do that when you're involved and got all this trash being talked. You know?
Yeah, absolutely. And it's tough because it starts from when we're kids, right? Like the school system is still the same school system that was designed back during the World Wars to turn people into factory workers.
Right.
You know what I mean? And so we start out as kids being taught the way we're taught by the school system, and we grow up believing what the school system teaches us. And then that carries into our adult life, and then that's all we know.
Yeah, absolutely. There was some billionaire, it was, I don't know, 6, 7, 8 months ago or something, I seen it online, and he said that's why they made school 8 hours a day, to get people used to, so they could work in the factories.
Right.
Right? So they program you from a little kid, 8 hours a day, tell you to sit there, tell you can't use the bathroom, say you got to raise your hand when you use the fucking bathroom, right? And then convincing the parents that this is the right thing to do. Order.
Right.
Continuous order program.
Yep.
So you got to wake up. You're listening to this podcast. You know it's wrong now. Start making your own decisions. And like you said, take control of your life.
Yeah.
But you have to disappear, dude. You have to disappear. You have to clear out all that trash. And you can't clear out all that trash if you're still feeding your mind with it.
Yep. And I know it's hard. It's hard to detach from that life that you're currently living. It's difficult because I've been there. You've been there. It's hard to just detach from everything. But if you do it, I guarantee you there's benefit.
Yeah, and I know it's fucked up what we're saying. We're saying turn your back on your family, and we're saying turn your back on your friends. But it's the truth, man. Mm-hmm. It's the truth. Those are the ones holding you back. Mm-hmm. And how can you be good for them? Don't you want to be better for them?
Right.
Okay.
Yeah.
You got to separate yourself.
Yeah, it's tough. The people you trust the most are usually the ones that hold you back the most.
And they don't do it intentionally.
No, absolutely
Everybody
not.
just, it's a lack of knowledge. Nobody understands what's going on. I didn't know this before. I learned this stuff, man.
Right.
But I don't allow, man, I'm getting ready to cut people off again.
Right.
Like I don't give a fuck about who did what on Instagram. I don't give a fuck about who just got out of prison. You know what I mean? I don't give a shit about any of that crap. I am not, unless you are doing something with your life. You know, you want to tell me about some great experience you had with your kids? You want me to tell you how your business is taking off or the struggles that you're going through? That's cool. We can talk about that. But I don't give a fuck about no drama and no gossip, dude.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
I don't care about what you did at the club last night.
I don't give a shit, dude.
I don't get, yeah.
I don't care about who you're fucking or what, you know what I mean? I don't give a fuck. Like, dude, that's why I don't fuck with people, bro. But now I'm getting to a point too. It's like, dude, you know, don't even come to me with that shit.
Yeah.
You know, people come, oh, you remember so-and-so? I go, dude, I don't care.
Right.
I don't give a shit, man.
Yep.
Unless they're doing something with their lives, unless you're doing something with your life, there's nothing for us to talk about. I'm not wasting it because I know what I listen to and what I speak is creating my reality.
And people will try to make you feel guilty for detaching. You go out after work every day and you have work buddies you go and you drink with every day, and you decide not to do that anymore, they're gonna give you a hard time. They're gonna make you feel guilty. Oh, you just don't want to be part of the group anymore, huh? What do you got better to do? Like you don't have something better to do than go out and drink after work. You have buddies that you meet up with to go smoke with every day and sit and play video games, and you decide not to do that anymore. And you say, nah, you know what? Today I'm not gonna hang out. I got some other things to do. Oh, what do you have better to do? You don't have anything to do.
You think you're better than us?
Yep, exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. And that goes back to people don't want to see you doing better than them. And it's this fucked up thing. And I guess it's what you're saying. We've been programmed to think like that. But it's fucking sad, man. It's sad that we don't want to empower people.
Our commitment to other people, they say love one another. Okay, that's cool. But we think that means sacrificing ourselves.
Mm-hmm.
Constantly, everybody's sacrificing themselves for other people.
Yeah, yeah.
And now there's two of us down. Right?
Yep.
So now I'm supposed to sit here because I love you, because we're friends or because we're family, and I'm supposed to see you here talk a bunch of crap and complain a bunch, and now I'm all fucked up. Mm-hmm. Now my energy's fucked up, and now I can't be there in a positive way for my children. Now I can't be there in a positive way for somebody else that needed help because I decided to sacrifice my own energy to make you feel better about yourself.
Yeah, because if you don't, you're selfish.
You're selfish,
right?
And that's what society teaches you. Like, this is embedded in our heads. This isn't what love is.
Yep, and I'm telling you, man, they'll point out every flaw you have and things that aren't flaws about you to make you feel bad for rising above.
Absolutely.
For moving up, for bettering your life. And again, it's hard, but detach. It'll benefit anyone who detaches from the things that they know are not healthy for them. It's going to better their life.
Yeah.
And we all do things where we're in the act of doing something and we know it's not healthy for us. Mm-hmm. You know? When someone goes through the drive-thru at McDonald's, you know you're not doing something good for your body. There's not anyone that doesn't know that they're doing something horrible for their body. When you go and you drink yourself till you're blacked out, you know you're doing something bad for you. No one says, oh, I blacked out. That was so good for me.
Yeah.
You know? And if you detach from those things, and it's fucking tough, and I don't want to say you have to force it, but you have to be persistent with it, right? And there's guaranteed life will get better. There's no way it can't when you let go of those things that are bad for you.
And life is too short, man.
Way too short.
There's so many beautiful things in this world. You know, there's so many possibilities. You just got to start thinking that way. You got to start believing in yourself.
Yeah. Because what we do is we cloud our minds with worldly norms, and we don't realize how beautiful life is.
Let's fit in.
Yeah.
Let's fit in with everybody.
Yep.
That way I feel good about myself.
Yep.
You know, let's dress like everybody. Let's talk like everybody. Let's gossip like everybody. I got all this love. They don't give a fuck about you. They don't give a fuck about you, dude. You know, I see so many people and all these friends and I'm not antisocial, bro.
Right.
But it's just like I said, dude, I'm not fucking with you. If I can't trust you with the keys to my house, I'm not gonna waste my time talking to you.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying?
Yep.
I don't need, I'm okay with me, man. I'm okay with me.
Right.
You know, I'm okay with me. So again, it's that inner work, dude.
Yep. I value people in my life that are worth having in my life.
Absolutely.
But if that means having to sacrifice myself, I don't need anyone in my life. All I need is me. And we got to get comfortable with that, or step out of our comfort zone and be okay with that. But yeah, man, I agree. You don't need anyone if they're going to drag you down into their own misery.
Yeah.
And society is so about being social. That's the message that I want to bring with tonight's episode is, you know, don't feel bad about doing better for yourself. Don't be afraid to detach from these worldly norms that are dragging you down. People are always going to want to drag you down into their own misery.
Yeah.
Always. But let go of that shit. You know?
Absolutely, dude.
Yeah, man. Good shit.
Good shit, bro.
Good shit.
I like this topic, dude.
Yeah, for sure. I think people need to hear it too. You know, I know I need to hear it.
And it's and dude, I know it's cold, man.
It is.
You know, I know it's cold, bro. And that, you know, I love this show, man, because I'm just gonna speak my truth on here, dude.
Yeah.
You know, because it's constantly like, even on this show, man, it's like, oh man, I don't want to hurt anybody's feelings. Oh, I don't want to hear. But dude, people need to hear their fucking truth, man. Like people got to hear the truth, and like, this is my truth, dude. You know, these are fucking. I love people, dude. I love helping people. I'm very generous, you know, and I feel for people, right? But I'm not sacrificing myself, dude.
No way.
Not sacrificing myself because there's 10 other people that I could help. And I can't help them if I'm sacrificing myself for you.
Yep.
Especially in relationships, dude. Man, bro, people in relationships, they go years. I went years sacrificing myself, you know, for the benefit of my kids. And that's what I thought it was, you know, where I'm not happy. I'm not in a good place. It's, dude, relationships are gnarly, man. I see people and I have friends, man, and they go through this battle for years because they feel bad for the other person.
Yeah.
Feeling bad for somebody is not helping them.
No, not at all. No.
It's not helping them, dude.
Because feeling bad for someone just it enables them. It allows them to just keep going on, living the way they're living, feeling the way they're feeling, thinking the way they're thinking, without ever trying to bring them to consciousness.
Yeah.
You know, and so that's enabling.
Yeah.
It's like if you're in a relationship and, you know, let's say your husband or wife is constantly drinking, and you don't tell them, hey, you're fucking things up because you don't want to ruin the relationship, and you're afraid that they're going to get mad for telling them the truth, you enable them to just keep going.
Oh, and then, by the way, you stayed married to him your whole life. So you lived in this misery your whole life. You enabled them their whole life. And you could say, well, you know, I've been married for 40 years and, you know, I'm loyal to my wife. Fucking loyalty, or, you know, loyal to my friend.
Right.
I've been loyal to my friend all this time. He got me in trouble and we went to prison together and we did this, but I'm always there for him, man. You know, and they take pride in that and they identify with that.
Right.
It's bullshit,
and
dude.
it gets them nowhere.
Gets them nowhere, dude.
Yep.
So if you're around somebody and they're bringing you down, you're just as bad as them, dude.
Yeah, I agree.
You're just as bad as them.
Yep.
And once you acknowledge this and you know this shit's wrong and you still do it anyways,
there's nothing anyone can do for you at that point.
Nothing.
You know, and I always think about that too, is like, you know, and if you don't know something, you cannot be held accountable for not knowing it, right?
Right.
But once you know something, you are absolutely accountable.
It's your fucking duty.
Absolutely. take the action that you need to take once you learn new information in life. Once you learn new information and you realize that you're being adversely affected by the way you're living, you learn information that tells you you're living wrong, you have to take action.
And then especially when you're aware of it and you don't take action, you're going to be suffering. Mm-hmm. You're going to be suffering. Every day you don't take action, you're going to be suffering.
That's the real pain.
That's the real fucking pain, dude.
It's not going through something because you don't know any way else. It's continuing to go through it, knowing how to get out of it. Right?
Yeah. Yeah. Once you know, yeah, it's torture.
Yeah.
It's absolute torture, man.
Yep. You always say it the best. It beats down on your spirit.
It does. It beats down on your spirit. Once you acknowledge it, it's like there's no ignoring it, man. And you're going to be in pain until you deal with it.
Yep. Yeah. And ignoring problems, man. That's everyone goes through that, I think. But ignoring problems, that's when you go toward the bottom of the hole. Mm-hmm. When you ignore it, it's not knowing, it's knowing and doing nothing.
Right. That's painful, dude.
Yep.
It's gonna beat on your spirit, man. Absolutely.
Yeah, and when you beat on your spirit, it's like I don't even know how to explain it. When you allow yourself to beat on your own spirit, if you don't change something, there's no keeping a positive mind.
Oh, absolutely.
You can't ignore problems and not have in the back of your subconscious thoughts about positivity, I guess.
Yeah, it's going to tear you apart, and that's why people turn to drugs and alcohol.
Absolutely.
Because
that numbs it, right?
They get sober or whatever, and they get some time, but they're still cheating on their girlfriend, still sleeping with a bunch of women, doing steroids, blowing their money, stealing, maybe committing crime still. That's why they go back to it, bro.
Yeah.
Because they're aware that it's wrong. They're doing it anyways.
Yeah, people always say they don't know any better. No, they do know better.
Absolutely.
They do know better.
Everybody does, dude.
Yeah.
Everybody does.
For sure. Yeah, man. Good talks.
Yeah. Good shit,
Fucking
bro.
love it.
Yeah.
So hopefully we get through to someone. I think that's our biggest goal here is help people. Going out and enabling people and giving the homeless guy, money on the street to go buy alcohol. That's not serving people. Serving people is giving people information to better themselves,
Yeah, and if you take any of this offensively, there's probably some truth to it.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Usually we get offended because whatever is being told to us, it's a reflection of ourselves.
I do, bro.
Yeah.
I do. If there's something I'm not doing, I'm lacking, and I hear it, I get offended.
Yep. Yeah, but before you make reactive decisions to your feelings, reflect on it and truly ask yourself, like, am I getting offended because I know it's true? And usually that's the case.
Yeah, absolutely.
Usually we're getting offended because we know what we're saying is wrong is true.
Right.
Yeah, man. So, we've got social media pages. Hit us up. We want you guys to be a part of these discussions. Let us know what you think in the comments. YouTube.com/the Breaking Boundaries -pod. Every Tuesday, guys. Every fucking Tuesday, we will have an episode out for you. And we want to bring light to your life. And like you said, sometimes it sounds cold, but gotta have tough love, man.
Yeah, it's cold-hearted truth.
Yep, absolutely. And then as we get further with this, I think what we could talk about doing, and I was just thinking this, is maybe doing like a Patreon thing or something like that where we can give added content. Bonus content for, people who subscribe to the Patreon. But we want to keep putting this content out for all of you, because I don't see a lot of like this kind of stuff on the internet where it's like, you know, it's either super like formal and politically correct, or it's just like influencers out there fucking around and talking about shit that means nothing, right?
Right.
And I understand sometimes it's nice to listen to a podcast or watch an influencer talk about nothing. Sometimes you want to break away from everything that matters, but content like this, I like what we're putting out, I love, because I hate political correctness, and I love talking about shit that means something.
Yeah.
You know? So.
And it's the truth, bro. Because I want to hear the truth.
Same.
I want to hear the cold-hearted truth, man.
Yep. If I'm fucking up,
tell me.
I expect you to tell me that I'm fucking up.
Yeah, absolutely.
Even if you think I'm going to get offended.
Yeah, that's love, bro.
You know?
That's love, man.
Yep, definitely. It's not enabling people. It's telling people when they're fucking up.
And that's what they need, dude.
Yep. We all need it sometimes.
Absolutely, bro.
Right? So, with that said, we appreciate everyone watching, appreciate everyone supporting, and keep an eye out every Tuesday. Love y'all.
Later, guys.